Hello everyone, welcome to Basic Mathematics course. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about lines and angles. Let's begin without any further ado. Talking about basic terms and definitions, we come across line segment and ray. Friends, a line with two endpoints is called a line segment, whereas a line or a part of line with one endpoint is called a ray. Means you can say, if in terms of science, if you switch on a torch, then a ray will be there. So the source is the torch. So here the source is that one point of that particular line. For now, we can denote these two line segments according to their symbols. For example, if a line segment is there with the name AB, then there will be a line above and it will be a symbol for line segment. For a ray, we can have a point from where a arrow is emerging, and that will be the symbol of a ray. Talking about the combination of points, if three or more points lie on the same line, then they are called collinear points, and if this condition cannot be fulfilled, then they are called non-collinear points. Means simply, if there are two or less than 2 points on a line, then they are non-collinear points. Now let's talk about angles, where we have 5 classifications. First comes the acute angle from a tilt of 0 degrees to 90 degrees. Moving ahead, we have right angle, which has a combination of straight line forming an angle of 90 degrees. Third is the obtuse angle from 90 degrees to 180 degrees. Then there is a straight angle formed on a straight line of 180 degrees. At last, we have reflexive angle from a tilt of 180 degrees to 360 degrees. Talking about the combination of angles, if two angles are there whose sum is 90 degrees, then they are complementary angles. And if two angles are forming a sum of 180 degrees, then they are supplementary angles. Let's understand it with the example. For example, in this figure we have the combination of three lines forming two angles, angle ABD and angle CBD. For example, if angle ABD is a 50 degree angle and angle CBD is of 40 degrees, then their sum will be 90 degrees and therefore it will be a set of complementary angles. Taking another example, if we have a line AC on which another line BD is intersecting, then two angles will be formed. For example, we have an angle CBD of 100 degrees and we have another angle ABD of 80 degrees, then the sum of these two angles will be 180 degrees. Therefore, this will be a set of supplementary angles. Now there is vertically opposite angles. If two lines are intersecting each other, four angles will be formed and opposite angles will be equal. As we can see here, the opposite angles will be equal to each other. For example, the angle COB is 60 degrees, then the angle AOD will also be 60 degrees. Now let's talk about intersecting lines and non-intersecting lines. If two lines cut each other at any specific point, then it is called intersecting line. For example, in the figure 1, PQ and RS are intersecting each other at a point O. Whereas in the second figure, both the lines are moving parallelly without joining each other. Therefore, they are called non-intersecting as well as parallel lines. For example, the railway lines. That's all for this lecture. We will discuss more about lines and angles in the further lectures. In the next lecture, we will discuss about axioms and theorems related to these concepts. I hope you learned a lot from this informative introductory video of lines and angles. In the forthcoming lectures, we will meet again with more detailed and elaborative contexts. Thank you everyone.